Hello everyone, this is Moses from Wilona's Cave, and I'm going to be doing another channel update here. I have a lot to cover. I'll put timestamps in the video as well, so you guys can fast forward wherever you think is more interesting. Okay, so let's get to it right away. I'm very busy with all the stuff of this channel, of producing content for the Patreon page. Everything will be linked up in the description or probably in the comments as well. Patreon, etc., etc. I've been very busy doing all that. I have notes here written down, but I want to add in right now that I'm still working on Hackleswell, Dragonbane solo series. I'll link up the episode 1 on this video right now, so you guys can watch that if you want to start that series. So I haven't forgot about Hackleswell. It's just I really want to get these projects done before continuing on that series. And they're getting very close. They're getting very close to being on DriveThruRPG. I've never produced content for DriveThruRPG, and I really want to make sure I'm doing the best I can before I upload documents or games, etc. onto DriveThru. So what you're looking at right now, I'm doing 2 at a time to make it a little more interesting, so I can scroll up and down on both of them. I've gotten to 1.1 alpha on well, let me go down the list, excuse me. So Haiku Journey, this is what the first thing on the list. Haiku Journey Grim and Dark is expansion is available now for the paid Patreon members. There's 700 unique plot hooks, 14 D20 fortune and misfortune tables, D100 verb, D100 noun. I've been working on this for quite some time. It went really well. It's one of my favorite type of settings to do. It's not done as in it's still version 1.0 alpha. I'm still gonna produce more plot hooks, etc., etc. But I think it's enough right now. I want to move on to finishing D20 Random Tables. Haiku Journey and D20 Random Tables are gonna for the fantasy. As you can see, I'm going to do more Western, sci-fi, dungeons, comprehensive, and more type of settings. I'm hoping to finish both of these to have it on DriveThruRPG. So, regardless, let's go through this really quick, the Grim and Dark. Okay, so I need a table of contents for it. But, like I said, it's version 1.0 alpha. So, we have General Grim and Dark plot hooks, D100. Ancient Ruins Exploration plot hooks. Haunted Locations plot hooks. We'll go through some of them too specifically. Plague and Disease. Vampires in Fantasy Medieval setting. And then Vampires in Modern setting. D100. Then we have the Fortune Misfortunes for them. So let's do a random like a vampire in modern setting. Let's do something different. So let's take a look at a few examples. So like the vampires in a modern setting. So let's see 63. Let's see, what is it, 63? A vampire-controlled corporation manipulates markets and governments from the shadows. 64. A vampire masquerades as a politician influencing laws and policies to benefit vampires. Etc., etc. Stuff like that. I have one for hospital. Yeah, right here, 29. A vampire-run hospital serves as a front for dark experiments and feeding, etc., etc. So this is a living document, much like my other Haiku Journey core rule books and expansions. So I'll be adding more into this, changing it up, etc., etc. So that is the Grim and Dark expansion. This was much requested by people that love my game Haiku Journey, and it's a long time coming. So sorry, this one took a while, but it's out now and it's on the Patreon. So now let's move on to version 1.1 alpha of D20 Random Tables. So I've already done a video on this. I'll link it up right now in the video. You can watch when I debuted this game, or this supplement, excuse me. And what's different now is I organized it a little bit more. I worked on alphabetizing the tables a little bit more. There needs to be more done. Remember, there's approximately 300 of them. And it's growing. I'm not going to just keep it at that. So if I continue on making tables, D20 tables, for fantasy setting, I'll just add it to this and keep this as a living document. And it's going to be the first of its kind of my D20 Random Tables series of books. Like I said, it's in the past, like I said, Western sci-fi dungeons, more, whatever I can think of as a main topic, I'll continue that way. So what I've done so far, like I said, is I alphabetize a little bit more, but I made a table of contents. Now, I'm working on alphabetizing. Like you see, it's A, D, and W down here. I need to work a little bit more. Like you see, you'll see some things when you're looking at it, they're not alphabetized completely. But I need to work on page numbers as well. So let me just show you. I'll run through the table of contents pretty quickly here so you guys can see what's in this document. So now we have the book titles. See, it's not like laid out correctly. I don't like that that's there. Should be up here. Creative fantasy setting, NPC and characters, encounters. Look at kingdoms. 54 so far, kingdoms / strongholds. So far, there's 54 D20 tables for kingdoms. And there'll be more. Miscellaneous topics, dungeons, which will have its own supplement. I just wanted to put some in here because a dungeon with fantasy goes hand in hand. Quests, pirates and life at sea, festival. Might make this its own book as well. Pirates, witches will be its own book. Vampires will be their own book, etc., etc. Festivals, taverns, herbs, potions, geolocations, and then it goes on to the D20 tables. I just got to work on. You see how it didn't go into alphabetical right there? I need to go and switch things up slowly and slowly. Everything is page 1. Because I keep changing pages and I keep adding or subtracting. I don't want to change the numbers all the time. So when you're downloading this on the Patreon, paid Patreon tier, don't worry. I know that they're all page 1. I got a question about that. But I mentioned why in the beginning of the D20 random table, but maybe some people didn't pay attention or skip through it or fast forward. Regardless, so they're all 1. But anyways, I've already went through this, and it's a lot of pages. It's a lot. It's 203 pages currently right now of D20 tables, random D20 tables, which is included with the paid tier. But like the finalized version will be on drive-thru. So now a little update on Mystic Warriors solo and group RPG. So this book is currently at 155 pages. I'll link up some videos right now so you can watch some in-depth displays and explanations of the book. But right now what I want to talk about is I'm working more on the artwork and layout. I want to make it a little more eye-appealing than just, basically text and that's it. I want to make... I have a few ideas of what I can do on the margins of the book. But we'll see. Right now it's a size A5. I like that type of book. I like that type of size of book. A5 is just good handheld. You put it in your backpack, go. I'm working a lot on potions. And there's potion expiration. So like if you do not know the label, if it's illegible on the potion container or bottle or what have you, whatever it is, it's a risk. And you will have to hire people to find out what the potion has. So this is potion causes of expiration. So if you go to someone, let's see here. So testing process. So visit a testing location, describe the potion, testing procedure, results and certification, cost of potion testing. So like apothecary shops will cost this, witches and herbalists will charge this, Mages Guild, Alchemist Labs. And there's going to be other benefits to, like, let's say you go to an Alchemist Lab, maybe the percentage of what they say, like, we don't think this is, let's say you have no label on your potion. Okay, potions are extremely valuable in my game. There's a spot on my character sheet for potions. So they're extremely valuable. The reason why is they're going to be... I've always loved potions when I was a child. I started If you want to watch, I'll link up a video now, my solo RPG backstory. I started with Smurfs, making my own solo RPG game with Smurfs, when the Smurfs got canceled in 1989, the cartoon, the original cartoon. Because Papa Smurf always did potions, and I love potions. So potions are a big thing in my game. In point, it's on my notes, I'll just say it now because it links up to this. There's also auctioning in my game that I'm working on. So if you go in the world, in the realm, and find potion bottles that could be significantly worthwhile, like there could be a potion of regrowing hair, let's say, on top of your head. You know, if you're going bald, and a lot of men or nobles or whatever will want something like that. So you go into the realm to look for potions. That's not the main point of the game. It's just a good side quest that you can do to make a lot of money, XP, or gain power, or have influence, etc. Because the potions are going to be very expansive. It's a very short list right now. I think I only have about 20 potions, but it's going to grow more and more. So, but sometimes you find a potion, like right away when you play a video game, and you find a potion, a healing potion, oh sweet, and you just drink it. Well, how old was that healing potion? You know, a lot of potions were, if you played games of crafting, you have to craft with the organic materials. Well, organic materials go bad after a while. Maybe even a month, maybe 2 months. There's expiration dates on my potions. And if the label doesn't state the date of when it was created, or how long it's been expired, or when it will expire after creation, etc., you know, you're gambling, ingesting the potion. But some potions could be like, you could turn into, I'm really just thinking outside the box here. Like, you could turn into a dragon for a day. Let's say like that. Or I don't know, whatever. It's going to be out there to where some potions are going to be prized by collectors even. Like, they don't even want to use it. It's just was made by a well-known witch even though they don't like witches. Most people, obviously, that live in the medieval times or fantasy realms, they don't like witches. But there was a well-known witch that used to create the most powerful potions in the world, and your team found a chest full of them in the middle of the forest, or a swamp, or even in the city. Regardless, and it's verified who it was and all this stuff, and now it's going to go for auction. There's going to be auctioning. I'm working on the rule sets for that, where you could you could either sell your item to the market, see what you can get, or go to the auction house and see, and hopefully get more money. Or maybe instead of money, they give you a house, or they give you property or land or something. I don't know, but I'm going back and forth here a lot. Maybe it sounds like that because I'm really excited about this stuff. So hopefully you're reading while I'm talking, because I'm scrolling through the potions here. So here's one example: potion of invisibility. Appearance: transparent liquid that seems to vanish. Smell: odorless. Benefit: grants temporary invisibility. Expiration side effect: causes skin to become translucent. Expiration or expiration, what it would look like is frosty discolorization. Ingredients: a ghost petal and chameleon scales. Geolocation: haunted locations or jungles. So here's the potion's cause of expiration. So if you remember, the frosty discolorization, number 19, that was for the invisibility. As the first frost touches the ground, the potion turns a strange color. So after the potion was made for invisibility, if the land that it was made, or the land that you're in, gets its first frost, like winter's coming, it becomes expired. So if you don't have, and it will turn a strange color. So if you don't have the special ability of potion expiration, if the player has special ability of potion expiration, then they have a better chance at detecting if the potion expired or not. Refer to the special abilities section for rules. But if the character does not have the skill lore herbalism, then they must use the following move: potion usage. So that'll be this. So if they don't, there's other rules. Or if you don't even have any of these, but you're not too sure what this is, there's no label, or the expiration is not there, the expiration date, or or the color, you're not too sure what the color should change to, the potion, you can go to the apothecaries or et cetera, and either get, the more you pay basically, the better the testing experiment can be. So it might be like, I'm not too sure if I'm going to do this, but it might be like where it's like 75% sure that it is not expired, and it goes to auction and you get a better price. Or it could be a 25% testing of like, it could be expired, we're 25% sure, you get a less price in the auction house. So sometimes it's better just to sell your potion without it even being tested, because if it's tested and it goes for like 10%, it's not going to get much money, etc. I don't know. I'm still working on the things. I'm really excited because I don't know if auction's been done in RPGs. It should be done, in my opinion. If it is, let me know so I can read and figure out how others have done it. Not stealing, just inspiration. And next I want to talk about the British Library. So I think 2013, like 10, 11 years ago, the British Library, I think, digitized all their books. I think Microsoft did it for them. If I'm wrong with any of this, please let me know in the comments. But regardless, they digitized a whole bunch of stuff. And they released like over 1 million, and I think it's growing. Like it's 1,072,000 now. Images, documents, etc. from books. So here's what I want to do is use some of that as one for filler for the book, Mystic Warriors, and any of my books. And also to share as an artist, to share past artists' works. And it really helps, in my opinion, so we can see I'm at the Ghosts and Ghoulish scenes, which have 1,064 photos. So you can see all these like interesting images. And I can draw like this, okay? One, it will take too much time. I'm a one-man show here. I don't have a team like other companies, let's say. But I'm humbled with these images of showing in my books of the connection we have from the past. So many of us can say, that these type of images are in RPGs today, TTRPGs today. But if D&D, for instance, D&D was back in, some of these images are hundreds of years old, hundreds, not just in the 1800s, even older. They were probably be D&D players. They would have been D&D players. All these artists most likely would have been D&D players or commissioned for their art to put into books. Much like if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know of Helmut the Witch Hunter, and that's really cool, a cool class or profession to play as. There were real witch hunters back in this time. There's some images from Salem, or in the London of, I'm assuming they're drawing of what happened in Salem. Really old images. I think one of them was 1627. I can't find it now for this, but just amazing stuff. Amazing stuff that I can include. So when you see that, it's like, whoa. And vampires. Lots of images about vampires. I mean, it's so expansive. You could spend, I mean, with over 1 million images, you could spend so much time doing this kind of stuff. Look at that. Look at this. So, British Library, let's see. 1857, date of publication. What is it called? Travels and Discoveries in North and Central Africa. Just the artwork. And that time you had to go to these places and cross your fingers you don't get malaria or typhoid or whatever else. Dysentery. You're traveling just to get a drawing, and crossing your fingers you'll make it back alive just to get a drawing. And I think that these, as an artist, I want to include these pieces of work in my books. I don't want to sound, I hope it doesn't sound egotistical, but as a legacy to them, a remembrance to these pre-D&D artists. Come on, everybody. Come on. You know this person would play D&D. You know this person would play D&D. 100%. No debate. Or any game. It doesn't have to be D&D. It could be Mystic Warriors. Look at that. Anyways. 1898. And I just want to include these type of images. Some are very nice. This is obviously the ghouls and ghosts. But yeah, you could... I'll leave a link. I'll try to remember to leave a link so you guys can look at these images as well. It's open to everybody. There's, as far as I know, this is free royalty. You could do... Don't quote me, but I'm pretty certain you can do anything. You could put this on a bag and sell it. Like print this picture, put it on a bag and sell it. But the thing is, you don't own the image, so I could put this image on a bag and sell it as well. But yeah, so I want to do it to where it's like it opens people's minds to say, wow, the connection is... God, look at that image right here. The connection is, and look at the writing. My grandfather ran a print shop long ago, I believe in Lebanon, and he knew 5-6 languages, and he used to change the plates and make them custom made, like little plates for letters and words, and change them out when the newsletters came out, 5 times for each language to print the morning newspaper press. So I think that's why I have a little connection to this. And my other grandfather was an avid gardener, owned one of the most visited apple orchards of Lebanon, my mother's father. And that's why I'm an avid gardener. I have another channel, Zatar Gardens, for my gardening. I've been a gardener since I was 3 years old, and I have been doing solo RPGs since I was 6.5, 7 years old. Come on, everybody, look at all this artwork. So... I want to include my artwork, and look at this. If you're still with me, I know I'm getting lost here. I can get lost in these type of images, and I'm assuming you as well. We have that connection, us RPGers, in 1875. But you'll find some gems. I mean, they're all gems, but you'll find some gems like... Imagine using this as a header on my paper, on the A5 paper on the top, right here. But you'll find some ones that are like 1600. The other one I found palm reader, an image of palm reader. I've saved it somewhere of what lines mean what on your palms from the 13th century, and it was a beautiful picture of it too, a digitized image of the book paper page. Look at that. Now I can draw like this. Okay, I could draw like this. I don't need this person's picture. I could draw like this, or actually, in all honesty, these lines, I forgot what they call this technique. The lines you see for shading, I can't do that. I will go crazy. But let's say for regular, smearing shading, I don't know how you would exactly call it, but not this type. I could do this, or even better than this. Okay? But that's not the point. The point is to share, when people read this, I'm hoping they connect more to my to the history of this art, to my book, to the acknowledgement of these artists. Wow. French. 1882 Paris. Wow, look at that. Wow. Oh, it's just amazing. I know this is kind of more. There's even more. There's castles. I just selected the what was it? Ghouls and Ghosts. I forgot what it was called. But regardless. So yeah. So that's what I'm hoping is that when people read this, they're like, you know what? There's this connection that all humans have in terms of artwork, history. You can see here. So let's roll up. Women of the world, ships and boats. I think there was one for, castles. You see? Look at that. Okay, now I want everybody, I hope, okay, if you're, I'm getting a little lost in the woods here, but I just love this stuff so much. And sometimes I don't have that many videos where I just rant. And so many others do, and I can rant about a few things, and artwork's one of them. I want everybody to look at this image. Let me know. I'm curious. It looks like a dungeon. Put a comment in the comment section. Dungeon, the word dungeon, and I'll know you're with me on this one, or you've stayed this long. Okay. What year is this? It really doesn't matter because this was built a long time ago. 1885. I want you, Dungeon of the Keep. Okay? Castle, Richmond Castle. I want you to think that you are the artist right now. You know what has to happen with this to get this image? I'm going to assume that the artist, imagine you're the artist right now. You are alone. You got the approval, I guess, from the king or whatever. Well, this is 18 something, but let's say back in the day too, there's artists back then as well. You would have to go to this dungeon by yourself. There's no flashlights. Probably with a torch. And put the torch stake to the ground in the pitch black dark, dripping water. You could hear rats, whatever else, bats flying. And you draw this with a flame in the dark. Could you do it? In a dungeon? Could you? I don't know if I could. I'll have to have like 3 or 4 people with me, and they can't walk away. They can't split. You don't split the party. You don't split the party, and you don't split the party, especially if I'm drawing something. You all sit here and just talk to me so I don't go crazy and see things in the dark that aren't there or could be there. Who knows? Especially with our D&D minds or our RPG minds. And I've taken a long time for this, so I also had the list to do Mystic Warriors Combat and to show how I'm working on that. And I'll link up a video right now on the combat of my what I'm thinking of right now. I'll link up a video, past video of mine. But it's going well. It's extremely interactive, and it's all about group mechanics. Instead of one person rolling, everybody rolls at the same time. So priorities go to doubles and triples, which is the mystic ability or group mystic ability. Doubles, triples. If anybody wants to help, if everybody wants to do defensive. It is a mix of Power by the Apocalypse with kind of turn-based. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because if you don't have a good GM or a GM that's played Power by the Apocalypse a lot, you're going to have hesitation amongst players because there's no initiative empowered by the Apocalypse. So what I would hate to happen is if someone plays my game, a group plays my game, and it's like nobody wants to go, okay, I want to use my attack, or I want to move, or I want to do this or that, because there's no initiative. So that's when a good GM or a GM that knows about, sorry, not a good GM, I don't want to say it like that. A GM that knows how to play Power by the Apocalypse, you act as the enemy and say, okay, the enemy goes and fires an arrow at you. Now that prompts you, the player, to say, okay, I have to dodge. You have to roll for dodge and see if you get a success, partial success, failure, etc. But I want it to be more interactive than that where, okay, everybody roll. Basically a 3, 2, 1. You have 4 players as a GM, or you're playing solo. You have to roll for multiple characters at the same time. You roll all together, and then it all works out together. I'm working on that currently. I wanted to do this video, but I think it's better if I do that on a separate video. Okay, everybody, I think I spoke enough. I'm having a lot of fun with this stuff. So, happy gaming, everybody. Bye.